Beyond the Edge, a sequential entertainment podcast by Dray and Calum Verrecchia. You've been awful quiet since we took off, Jasper. Anything wrong?
I don't know. I'm just feeling that I'm missing out on things, you know? Like life is just passing me by. I feel my life's lacking excitement.
What, being a pilot of an Airbus 380-800, the largest passenger plane in the world, not exciting enough for you?
It's not that. I'm just, you know...
Still lacking excitement?
Nope. That'll do. Coffee?
No, I'm trying to cut back on my caffeine intake.
Go ahead, Alpha Delta.
We've arrived at the scene of the crime and reports are correct. A woman has indeed killed her husband with a knife, stabbing him several times in a callous and quite frankly, very, very scary way.
Can you elucidate, Alpha Delta?
We spoke to the suspect, who was still holding the knife, still dripping with blood. She said that she told her husband not to come into the kitchen as she just mopped the floor and it was wet. Apparently he ignored her and entered the kitchen anyway.
Have you got the suspect in custody?
No.
Why not, Alpha Delta?
The floor is still wet.
Hello and welcome back to Frugal Camping with me, Tam the Frugal Camper. This week I'm in one of Scotland's iconic sites, Glencoe. Now I've parked my camper van at the start of this magnificent valley, or glen as we like to call them here in Scotland. I'm looking west down this stunning landscape towards the pass of Glencoe. The road nestles between two mountain ranges, possibly formed during the last ice age when a giant glacier scoured the land. I can see the remnants of that by the giant rocks that were dragged along the base of the glacier, leaving huge long scratches in the landscape. Then they were just deposited. I just wish you could see it. It's stunning. Oh, blood. Oh, no, again. The midges again. Right, I've parked up and I've already got my stove lit and a pot of water on the go, and I'm going to have a wee snack of wild food that I picked already. Some wonderful green shoots from the... Oh, I think the fire's attracted more of the wee buggers. But not to worry, I've got myself a deterrent for the scourge of the West Coast. Lemon juice. Aye, I was talking to an old codger back there at Tyndrum, and he recommended that I coat myself with lemon juice with several lemons. The midges don't like lemon juice apparently, so that's what I've got here. I have 5 gallons of high-grade concentrated catering lemon juice, and I'm stripped to the waist, so here goes. I don't fancy the chances of those little devils now, eh? Oh, for the love of... Oh, it stings. I don't know what's worse, the sting of the lemon juice or the sting of the midges. Oh, ow, the midges are coming. They're swarming. I think they're attracted to the lemon juice. It's like they've phoned all their pals.
More bubbly, darling?
Oh, lovely. Did you hear about Tamara?
No. What is she doing these days?
She's directing a play at the Fringe this year.
Is she? She wasn't much good at acting, so the next best thing, I suppose.
Oh, God, yes. Remember her Peter Pan at the King's Panto in 2004?
They had to employ 3 weightlifters for her flying scenes. They could never disguise the rope.
I heard they used the Royal Yacht Britannia's mooring rope.
You know, I once directed a play.
With actors and everything.
With actors and everything. I thought I'd spice it up a bit by adding a lesbian shower scene.
Bold. Progressive.
Some said that, and that I was a breath of fresh air, just what the plane needed. Others said that I ruined the nativity.
Here, Jasper, I was wondering.
What were you wondering, Marcus?
Well, I was wondering how many of the passengers are religious.
I reckon 40%.
I'd say a little higher, 70, maybe 80%.
Oh my God,
I'd say that was 80%, wouldn't you?
Aye, I agree. 80% it is. Coffee?
Nah, I'm trying to cut back on my caffeine intake.
Bloody crows.
I know, right? Who do you think they are?
Well, crows, I guess.
I blame the humans. I mean, they're supposed to be feeding us wee birds, not those big buggers. It is winter after all. They're supposed to be helping us. Crows are carrions. They eat roadkill for Pete's sake.
Aye, but you can't discriminate with peanuts and mixed seeds and mealworms. The humans just put food out for the birds, regardless of size or breed.
Aye, well, I'm no racist, but it's no right.
Look out, Robin's about.
All right.
Aye, Grand Robin, what are you up to?
Oh, you know, this and that. Did you see that interloper there? I told him.
I saw that. You certainly did. You showed him. He'll no be back in a hurry, that's for sure.
Oh, you know me. Got to look after my territory. If I'm amiss in patrolling it, I'll lose it. Hey, you there! Get your feathered arse away from here. Better go, chaps. A robin's work's never done, eh? Don't you puff your red breast out at me, you numpty. Oh, hey, you!
He's nothing if not dedicated.
He's a bit too aggressive for my taste. Speaking of aggressive...
Oi, you two. I hope you're not thinking about hogging all those peanuts.
We wouldn't dare, big man. Oh, no.
I'm pulling your wee scrawny leg, pal. I see the crows were trying to get our scran again.
Aye, but they're too stupid. The humans think that they're all that, but we know the truth. It's no the crows that need to be watched. It's those pesky magpies. Hate them.
They're all right. They just like to have a play, that's all. Bloody noisy greenfinches, though. I'm just looking for a quiet life, you know.
Aye, I know what you mean, Beaky. But they keep themselves to themselves, you know. Not like the pigeons.
Flying rats, as my old mother used to call them.
How was your mother, by the way?
Find her frozen, still clinging to her branch.
Oh, bummer, man.
You see, we thought she was just taking an extended nap, like. So we sat beside her. You know, to keep her company.
We did that most of the morning. Then she thawed out and...
Slid off the branch. All peaceful, like.
Oh, it was very peaceful. I think she'd have liked it.
And then a rat dragged her dead wee body into the undergrowth.
I'd better get going. I've got things to do.
A blackbird's work is never done. See you later on.
Right, let's get going.
I might hang about here for a wee bit, you know.
All right, well, don't you come stoating in at ours.
I'm just going to hang out with the lads.
I know about you hanging out with the lads. You'll be planning on raiding the house sparrow
that
colony
was
again.
One time. What am I supposed to do, eh? Just tell the lads that I can't stay out? That I'm tethered to the old ball and chain, am I? Welcome to the Keep Fit Guru podcast. I'm here to answer all your Keep Fit questions, and I'm the Keep Fit Guru. So let's get started. This time we're going to be looking at treadmills. This is something that I see people using more and more in the gym. I'm here to teach you on how to use the treadmill safely. Now, before we start, you do need to know how to stop. That's very important. So if you have an emergency or you just simply want to get off, you hit the big red button on the panel and it will slow you down before you get off, okay? So, I'm going to be using the Goburn Nordic Flat Runner treadmill with the extra arm hold bars and stepping bars. This is a top of the range treadmill and the gym owner has given me permission to use this as I'm fully trained on this type of treadmill and know all about the safety features. Now you must remember to do this with a gym buddy as accidents can happen. But because I'm so experienced, I'm able to do this on my own. So, let's get on with the lesson.
We begin by standing on the stepping bars either side of the treadmill. Legs apart. And press the big green start button. Now, next, we're going to increase the speed just a little bit. I'll set the speed to a decent jogging rate, as I'm experienced in this kind of exercise, but you can start it a little slower, okay? Now, as you can see the treadmill beginning to speed up, you want to begin to walk, nice and slow. Just a walking pace, but as it speeds up, you get to a jogging pace. Now, you need to be careful, as you'll be sprinting without realising it, okay? So, as you get used to the pace, you can if you find it's a little too fast, you can just adjust the speed, but don't grab onto the extra hold arm bars, as this will give you a false sense of security. I can't seem to stop it. It's smoking. It's that smoke, isn't that smoke? That's smoking. I'm hitting the big red button, but nothing's happening. Can anyone help? I can't stop. I can't stop. The extra hold arm bars have come off. I'm trapped under the running mat. Help! Help! Anyone! Anyone! I'm passing out. I'm passing out. All I can see is a big white light. I can't see. The sweat's in my eyes. I'm blind. Oh my God, I'm blind. Oh dear. Oh. I should have had a gym buddy.
Now that we're in Luke Lestrade's inner sanctum, we can find out what his master plan is and how he's going to take over the world.
What a fantastic office, like. Master plan. Sounds a bit like masturbate.
Will you keep your voice down? We don't want to get caught.
Oh, aye, right enough. We don't want to get caught in evil villain's secret lair. That would be, like, the worst thing that could happen. Although, I'm sure that the worst thing that could happen is being electrocuted in the bath. That happened to a good friend of mine.
Stop. Oh, will you just stop? If you don't, I will shoot you.
Oh, alright. No, I can stop. That's the easy part, eh? Well, I say easy, but here, that painting and that bearded hipster guy, he keeps following me and watching me.
It's an optical illusion. That bearded hipster guy, as you so quaintly put it, is the fiendishly evil villain, Luke Lestrade.
Doesn't look that evil. He looks like my Uncle Jim from Bruntsfield. Although he's no my real uncle. He's just a friend of the family. Well, I say friend of the family, but really he was married to my mum's best friend, who lived in the same stairs. We were on the 3rd floor and they were on the top floor. We used to call her Auntie till she and my mum had a falling out over something. I think it was to do with borrowed sliced bread or something like that. Ah, that's my shoulder.
I did warn you that I would shoot you.
No, okay, you did. I'll give you that. You gave me fair warning.
Sir, can you just concentrate on finding the evil villain's plans?
Aye, okay, I'll look for the evil villain's plans. Here, begin. Is this what you're looking for?
Yes. Where did you find it?
Easy peasy, man. It was behind the painting of that Luke Skywalker guy.
Luke Lestrade, you imbecile.
Welcome to Art at Night, tonight.
This week I have the pleasure of having the Culture and Arts Minister, Lady Gertrude Banquet.
It's pronounced Bonkway.
Sorry, Lady Bonkway. Lady Bonkway, as you've just become the Minister of Culture and Art, can you tell the listeners how you will be encouraging more arts and culture projects? And are you going to up the funding available for rural theatres?
Let me make this quite plain. I have taken on a department that is still feeling the cuts the previous government has made.
To be fair, Lady Bonkway, your party has been in power the last 18 years. Are you telling me that you lot couldn't get ahead of the curve on this one, so to speak?
If you let me finish answering the question, I would be able to be heard. As I was saying, I don't think the impact of the severity of cuts from the previous government, albeit nearly 2 decades ago, can be wished away as easily as you seem to think it can be. We at the Department of Culture and Arts are dedicated to bringing a better way to evaluate the needs of all the arts institutions within the parameters of the newly subjugated office. Do you see?
No. On a lighter note, I'm sure our listeners would love to know what you prefer for breakfast.
Oh, I don't understand.
You see, we're trying out a new format and feel that we could finish our interviews with an entertaining question from our listeners. This one here was sent in by Samuel Jackson, no relation, who set the question. So, what is your preferred breakfast meal?
Well, I have to say, I think having a meal at breakfast time is essential for a fit and healthy body. And if you're lucky enough to be able to have the time to sit and enjoy your food, you should. And I want to give a big thank you to all those frontline workers, like our safety marshals, up and down the country, making sure that our food stores are protected from the rioters and looters.
It's a disturbing image, but can I get back to the original question? What is your favourite breakfast meal?
Now, you see, the breakfast is a particularly favourite meal, although it's just as important as lunch, dinner, tea and supper. Myself and my parliamentary colleagues wouldn't like to single out any time of the day for eating. We are a party of inclusivity, after all.
Fascinating. I'm just trying to ascertain what you like to eat for breakfast. Is it cereal, for example?
Now, cereal is a fine start to any working day. Or, if you're unfortunate not to be working, it's still a fine start to the day.
A cooked breakfast, then? Sausage, bacon, potato scone?
A good cooked breakfast.
So, it's a cooked breakfast.
Now, don't put words in my mouth. And if you'd let me finish making my point, I think you'd find that I don't particularly advocate one thing or another. I simply need to be heard on the subject that is being discussed at this moment in time.
Well, thank you, Lady Gertrude Bonkway. Unfortunately, and as usual, we have ran right out of time. Join me next time on Art at Night, tonight, where I'll be talking to someone I'm not particularly interested in. From me, live in the studio. Good night.
She's at her sister's for the week. Had to get my piece out of that Scotsman's over there.
Aye.
It's getting right fancy in there, you know. There's a time where you could get your classic ham and tomato or maybe a bit of your egg and cress.
Oh, for those days. What'd you end up with then?
Hummus, micro herbs and white truffle oil.
Oh, now that is fancy. You'll no catch me eating that nonsense.
What have you got?
Oh, for... Looks like last night's leftover mince and tatties. She's out dinner sale this time.
Oh, certainly sounds like it. What's the world coming to? What's wrong with just a doorstop with cheese and tomato?
Swaps.
Brown sauce?
Aye, brown sauce.
Oh, go on then.
Papa?
Mm-hmm.
Could you help me with my homework?
Of course, son. What do you want to know?
What's the basics of photosynthesis?
Oh, don't know that one.
Papa, when did Gutenberg invent the printing press? Was it 1448 or 1500?
Haven't got a clue, son.
Is it true that Pluto lost its planet status in 2006?
I wouldn't even hazard a guess at that one.
You don't mind me asking you all these questions, do you?
Of course not, son. If you don't ask, you'll never learn.
Sex, death and religion. Don't bother this pigeon. And if I could fly, well, they wouldn't bother I.
There are so many buttons and dials and digital readouts and screens and joysticks and pedals in this cockpit.
Well, we are pilots of an Airbus A380-800, the largest passenger plane in the world. It needs a lot of buttons and dials and screens and that just to keep it in the air.
Aye, I know that. I did the course. I've got the certificate. But have you never wondered...
Wondering what?
What would happen if you pressed that big red button?
What, the big red button in the middle of the centre console that has the sign that says, "Do not press"?
Aye, that one. Well, that solves that puzzle. Coffee?
No, I'm trying to cut back on my caffeine intake.
And what bloody time do you call this?
Oh, it's not that late. I love you.
Have you been at those fancy fat balls again?
No. Well, maybe I've had, one or two.
What? One or two whole fat balls?
I can handle it. It's not the first time I've feasted on a fat ball.
Oh, your breath stinks of lard. Get away from me.
Oh, come here. I love you. Come here, give us a kiss.
Get off me. You're sleeping on the other end of the branch tonight, and I suppose you and the lads were back annoying the house sparrows again.
Well, actually, as a matter of fact, I wasn't. I was nowhere near the common house sparrows. I was out with Robin and Beaky.
Oh, really?
We were at the Ducat Club.
That's for the Greenfinch lap dancers.
Is it? I've never noticed.
Really? You liar. What's that under your wing? It's a green feather.
Oh, but love, I can explain.
You've had a private lap dance with one of those floozy green finches, haven't you? Haven't you?
Well, what do you expect? You never ruffle your feathers at me anymore. You've stopped laying eggs.
My mother told me about marrying a tree sparrow.
What do you mean by that? You're a tree sparrow.
I married beneath me, I did.
Right then, Sergeant. What have we got here then?
Well, boss, we've got multiple victims here. All have several stab wounds in the chest. I've got Sokol going over the scene, but I'm not confident they'll pull any evidence to say what happened here. It seems to me that there is a serial killer on the loose, and these poor souls have fell foul of his deadly deeds. It's a right mystery, boss, and no mistake.
It's a Satanist group, Sergeant, and this was a satanic ritual to call on the Antichrist, Lucifer himself, to be called into existence and change the world.
How could you possibly know that, boss?
Easy. They're all wearing black and red gowns, a ram's head is on the wall there, we're standing in a pentagram painted on the floor, and there's several black candles dotted around the room. Then there's the ceremonial ritual dagger lying on the floor next to who I presume is the leader, not to mention the huge mural on the wall that reads, "We call upon the Antichrist Lucifer to rise and change the world." But to no avail, as all 20 members are dead and the world hasn't changed.
You're so competent.
And that's why I'm DCI in charge of the Competent Detective Squad, and you're just a sergeant. Sergeant.
Excuse me, would you mind if I walked through your field to the train station over there, instead of walking all the way round it? You see, I have to catch the 4:30 train.
Aye, sure, go ahead. And if my prize bull sees you, you'll even have the chance to catch the 4:15.
wish we had superpowers.
Oh, why is that, son?
I think they're cool, and I'm just normal. But people with superpowers aren't real, though, are they?
Get your coat. See that guy standing in the bus stop?
Yes.
See that ugly looking hat he's wearing?
Yeah, it's funny.
It's stupid looking, the wrong colour, and it's far too big for his head. But watch this. Here, mate.
Who? Me?
Aye, you. Your hat is awesome, man. You look awesome in it.
Oh, cheers, thanks very much. You see, I wasn't sure about it, Ken.
Now, did you see that man's huge smile, son?
I did, Papa. He looked really happy.
There you are. We all have superpowers. We all have superpowers.
Cool.
Hello, Betty. I haven't seen you about much these days.
No, I've been on a trip, Nora.
Oh, sounds nice. Where did you go?
I went to the other end of the garden, down by the brook.
I'm so jealous. My Harry doesn't believe in trips to the other side of the garden. He just won't eat all those exotic bugs and berries from near the water.
Well, you need to know your limits, don't you?
How's your Naomi getting on? I heard she was sitting on eggs.
Oh, she's doing great. Her wee Manny is 1 in a million. She doesn't have to lift a wing. He insisted on getting all the twigs for the nest, all by himself. He gathers all the bugs and moths and worms for her. She hasn't left those eggs since they were laid. He insists that she just sit on those eggs.
Oh, that's wonderful. He sounds like a real catch.
Oh, he is, yes. He keeps that nest spick and span, and when the eggs hatch, he's promised that she doesn't have to leave the nest. Oh, he's just wonderful.
Didn't your Harold get himself a wee bird too?
Oh, don't start me on that waster. She just sits there all day, just because she laid a couple of eggs. You'd think she was the first bird to lay the things.
Oh, really? We know about laying a few eggs, don't we?
She demands that he brings all the bugs and worms. He never stops. She's so demanding. Do you know, she even flew about watching him build that nest all by himself.
Oh, that's terrible.
She's already told him that once the chicks come, that she'll no be moving from the nest until they fly the nest.
That could be weeks.
Exactly. Weeks. He's just trapped in that relationship, and she's just take. He does everything. She does nothing.
But your Naomi's doing good, though.
Oh, yes. She's doing brilliant. He does everything for her. She doesn't have to do a thing.
Taxi to runway 5 complete, Airbus 380800. Begin pre-flight checks before takeoff.
Roger that, Control. Get your list, Marcus.
Right you are, Jasper. OK, on you go.
Check weather and forecast.
All fine with sun and a little headwind.
Parking brake.
Set.
Battery.
Guard closed.
De-ice.
As required.
Fuel flow.
Reset. Rate.
Minimum briefs.
Minimised.
Miss some whelp throttled.
Check.
Double hone the stench knots.
Set.
Stone fast the nookie pinion.
Stoned.
Cleat the yaw damper.
On.
Get ready for the extreme climb takeoff.
Braced.
Positive rate of climb.
Gear up.
Stow and double cleat the ample stash.
Check.
Coffee?
No, try to cut back on my caffeine intake. Beyond the Edge, a sequential entertainment podcast, performed by Terry Dray, Calum, Verrecchia, Robert Iain Crawford, Matt Mason, Debbie Whyte, Lynne Morris, Rob Crosby, George Bowers, Norman Lamont, and introducing Kaedon Chapman. Written by Terry Dray, Calum, Verrecchia, and Robert Iain Crawford, with additional material from Matt Mason. Music is from Norman Lamont, Robert Iain Crawford, Kevin Macleod, and Craig Weild. It is an Edge of the World production, produced by Terry Dray and Calum Verrecchia.